What is up, guys? I am back with my Week 5 NFL picks. Quick wrap on last week. I went 11-5. I think 4 of the 5 misses were upsets. We have the Patriots that lost to the Panthers. Jaguars lost to the Jets. The Rams beat the Cowboys. And then the Bills beat the Falcons. So those were the 4 upsets last week, and I missed them. I thought the Giants were going to beat the Buccaneers, but that didn't happen. It was close, but not close enough. So moving on to my Week 5 picks, we're just going to go through these pretty quickly in about 5 minutes, hopefully, make it short and sweet. The buys this week are the Redskins, Broncos, Falcons, and Saints. So, you know, a lot of fantasy players right there are going to be off. But anyways, let's get to this. Starting with the Thursday game, we've got the Patriots at the Buccaneers. Patriots coming off a tough loss versus the Carolina Panthers. Panthers defense was 5th ranked, and they won off a field goal. So, yes, the Patriots lost, but they barely lost. And I think the defense is going to find a way to improve somehow past their 32nd rank in the league. Patriots have the best offense, or they're close with the Chiefs for the best. So I think they're going to find a way to win. Buccaneers are a great team, but I think the Patriots are going to pull this one out. Cardinals at Eagles. These are the Sunday games. I like the Eagles at home here. They're the 3rd ranked offense right now. I think if they jump out to an early lead, it's going to help a lot. And the Cardinals' only 2 wins are versus Indianapolis and San Francisco, which isn't saying a whole lot. I don't expect them to be super big competitors, especially without David Johnson. Jaguars at Steelers. I have the Steelers going in this one. They're home. Jacksonville's run defense is the worst in the NFL, believe it or not. But their defense overall is pretty good. I just think that Le'Veon Bell is going to dominate this game. And it's weird to see how the Jets, somehow beat the Jaguars after the Jaguars beat the crap out of the Baltimore Ravens in London. So they're a wishy-washy team. And I think the Steelers are just a little bit more concrete. I think they'll pull this out, especially since they're at home. Titans at Dolphins. This is actually the Dolphins' home opener. It's been pretty chaotic for them, I think, between traveling and the hurricanes and all that crazy stuff. They just had, I think they've struggled quite a bit. So it's their home opener. The Titans got crushed last week. I think I'm going to call an upset here. I'm going to call the Dolphins winning. Titans allow around 31 points a game. Dolphins only allow 19 points a game. And they actually did a pretty good job shutting down the Saints' offense last week. But it's up to the Dolphins getting their offense going. So I like the Dolphins at home. Chargers at Giants. Both teams are desperate for wins. It's going to be a close game. I think the Giants are going to run through LA's 31st run defense. They've got the Gallman dude who's suddenly perked up. I think he'll be good. Expect a close game and the Giants to pull it out. Chargers are not clutch. 49ers at the Colts. I like the Colts in this one. The 49ers are pretty bad. Brissett has actually looked pretty good for Indianapolis. It's similar to the Indianapolis versus Cleveland game, and Indianapolis won that. Like, statistically, the 49ers are better, but when it comes to games, I just think they lack a lot. They get too far behind. I like the Colts in this one. So the next game is the Bills at the Bengals. The Bills are only allowing 13.5 points a game. My bad. That's first in the NFL. Both offenses are not super dynamic. Bengals is looking better. This is a similar matchup to kind of the 2016 season with the Bills and Bengals. Bills won that game 16-12, but I like the Bengals here at home. They're both very good defenses, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But I got Bengals at home. Jets at Browns. The terrible teams, but honestly the Jets aren't that bad this year, surprisingly. So they've been on a roll. The Jets are statistically better on offense. And they're, like I said, they're on a roll. They're coming in off of 2 big upsets, so I like the Jets over the Browns. Panthers at Lions, another good game. I think the Panthers, they're good, but their offense last week beat the worst defense in the league, so it's not saying a whole lot that they had such a good week. I think the Lions are a complete team, and I think they know how to win. And so I think that because of that, and because they finally have this kind of running game with Abdullah, the Lions are going to be able to pull this one out at their Lion Den, if you want to call it that. The Ravens at the Raiders. I don't like the Ravens this year. They're like, they were good, but now they're just suddenly like one of the worst teams. The Raiders are without Carr though, and I mean, like I said, the Ravens' offense is one of the worst. It's the third worst, to be specific. Their defense, it's kind of gone cold right now. You know, the Raiders do have a lot of weapons still, and E.J. Manuel is not that terrible of a backup, so I'm going to take the Raiders at home. Seahawks at Rams. Rams, they really seem to know how to beat Seattle, especially in the past few years. Now, that might be because of Jeff Fisher, but it seems like they beat them at least once each year. And they're the 5th-ranked offense. They beat Dallas. I like the Rams. They're home. Let's go Rams versus Seahawks. I think they're going to win. The game of the week for me is the Packers at the Cowboys. I'm picking the... I'm not sure if it's an upset, but I would say it is. I think the Packers are going to come in and beat the Cowboys. Packers defense is actually 7th overall. You know how dynamic their offense is. They have had some injuries, but they played very well versus Chicago. This is very similar to the playoffs where they faced off this last year. Packers won 34-31. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but Packers are going to pull it out. Chiefs at Texans. I like the Chiefs. I like them until they lose. That's my saying. Texans definitely could win this one. They're home. They're the 6th defense. Their offense is pretty good, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs until they lose a game. Monday, Vikings at Bears. I'm going to pick the upset. There's a couple things going for this upset here. So Bears at home. I like the Bears in this one. Trubinsky is now going to be the starter. I think he's better than Glennon. And then Dalvin Cook is out with an injury. I think Cohen's going to have a good game. And believe it or not, the Bears are actually a top 10 defense when measuring out total yards per game. I think they're going to stop the Vikings a little more than people would think. And so, I mean, if you want to pick an upset out of all these games in this week, I would pick the Bears versus the Vikings. So those are my picks for the Week 5 NFL season. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next week.